oils. Morning crew, and welcome to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And if it's your first time, welcome aboard. If you're back again, excellent. Okay, this is a short video on the infamous 1996 Suzuki Alto 660cc triple. It's an awesome little car. Really it is. Sniffs petrol. But it's just been for a Warrant of Fitness down at VTNZ. And it's failed, unfortunately, and it's failed on rear brake imbalance, on the service brake. Now, this car is used by my youngest daughter, Eloise, and my middle daughter, Charlotte. And they are both, one's away at uni, and one's over in Canada, having a great time. She's been there about a year now. So the car has been parked up for quite some time, probably about 4 or 5 months. And I suspect that either a rear wheel cylinder piston is seized, or there's a bit of corrosion inside the brake drum and the brake shoes are a bit sort of manky and stuff. So we're going to pull the drums off and have a little look, give them a clean up, and hopefully everything will be good to go. I'll whiz back down to the test station and get a warrant on it. Now, for those of you that follow the channel, I am a warrant inspector for New Zealand. I do motorcycles, cars, trailers, that kind of stuff. But at the moment, I'm not registered anywhere to do cars. I can do motorcycle warrants, that's not a problem. But car warrants, I can't actually process the warrant myself. I still have to go to a test station like a normal human, unfortunately. So that's the way it is. I've got to pay, what was it, $61 for this warrant? Bloody expensive, isn't it? Okay, so we'll get the back end jacked up, get the wheels popped off, and take a look. Here we go. Now with these drums, the wheel bearing is integral to the drum. Cool. And as always, I've forgotten to take the handbrake off. Idiot. Right, let's see what we've got. Cool. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Well, this side was a bit better than the other side, so we'll just get a little clean up while we're in. And then we'll put that together. And we're just going to check, and doesn't look like there's any leakage or any contamination in there. And these wheel cylinders were new about 2 years ago, so they should be good. So we're just going to move the shoes from side to side. And we can see the pistons are moving quite freely. So this side is all good. We'll just give it a bit of a clean up, some emery cloth. In this case, sandpaper, because Ben's used all the emery cloth. And we'll give the drum a quick whiz round and stick it back together. Dead easy. I remember when I was a kid going to my dad's garage, and all I remember from the mechanics on a regular basis, just quickly, when they were doing a service, giving the brake shoes a little rough up during the service. Now, this car didn't fail on the handbrake, on the parking brake. It operates on exactly the same brake shoes and brake drum on both sides. But when they tested the handbrake, they're not looking for an imbalance, they're just making sure that basically both brakes actually work, and the overall effect stops the car from rolling down a set gradient of hill. So your imbalance isn't picked up by that. I remember when I bought these wheel cylinders, I had to buy genuine because there's not that many of these cars in New Zealand. The aftermarket ones just weren't available. Right, that's a quick rough up on the brake shoes. We'll head over to the bench and give the drum a bit of a clean up too. Now be careful, don't get any brake dust and stuff in the wheel bearing itself. That's the bearing, or one of the bearings. It's the outer one, and that's the inner one. And all we need to do really is just sort of deglaze the shiny bit inside the drum where the shoes make contact with the drum itself. And the reason why we're doing this side, even though this was the better side, is we need to maintain or get as best balance as we can. So whatever we do to one side, we should always do to the other as well. Otherwise, the other side might be a lot better than this side then. And then we've still got a braking balance. And you're allowed 20% between the two. And this one was, what was this one? This was quite a lot. This was 38% difference. So quite a bit. Cool, that'll do. Right, back together. Cool, excellent stuff. Right, washer on, and back on with the nut. Super job. It's getting pretty chewed up, that nut, isn't it? Maybe I should get some new ones. And we'll torque that to manufacturer's spec. There we go, perfect. Now all that's left to do is to knock down the tab on that nut. So we're going to punch on our hammer and give it a little tap. Perfect. Right, wheel back on. Oh, tell you what, I nearly forgot. I always forget something. The cab. Oh, so much lighter than the old four-wheel drive wheels I used to do. This was an extra job for today, so I'm running a bit behind schedule now. So I thought I'd take you along the journey because I've done a bit of work on this little Suzuki, and some of you viewers keep asking me to do more stuff on it. So, well, you get to see inside the brakes today. And of course, I'll be torquing those up to spec too. To the side, I reckon. So easy, isn't it? Okay, what do we got? Ooh, stuck. Oh, I could do my magic hammer right now. Damn. I'll go find it. Ta-da! Okay. And that hammer never fails. Not often. Okay, so this is the side that was low on efficiency, and looks to me like some of the grease has come out of the bearing. Maybe just got on the shoes. Now, these were new shoes. The problem we've got, they've worn out quite well actually, quite a bit. Now, the problem we've got is once you get contamination in a shoe, in a friction material, you can't really get it out. It's in there for life. But it's a Saturday, and I had to buy genuine Suzuki shoes, and there's no way I'll get those today. So all I can do is hope to clean it up enough, use some brake clean, so that it'll get through that test. Remember, we've only got to get it within 20% balance. Who knows? It's worth a try though, isn't it? Damn. Okay, so we'll just wipe off some of that excess grease. Oh, there's so much grease in there, that's crazy. I've never fitted wheel bearings to this, so it's a bit strange when there's so much grease in there. Okay, there's plenty of grease in the hub, so we don't have to worry about that, being too dry. There will be a bit, but hey, it's the bearing race inside the bearing that rotates, not on here. I think there's only a very small amount got on there anyway, so fingers crossed we'll be alright. Okay, let's check that the pistons are moving alright. Yeah, they're fine. I suspect only a tiny amount of grease has got onto these shoes, but it's enough to make a difference. Nice windy day outside today. Cool. Right, we'll give that a douse down with brake cleaner as well because it's a bit greasy in there. It's not too bad, but you can see that some of the dust has adhered to the contamination. Right, we'll chuck a towel down just to everything to drain into. Need a good clean. It's a pretty good nick, this little car, actually. It's good that it didn't require anything else for the warrant. I didn't think it would. I was surprised actually that this was a problem, but rear brakes you can't really tell when you're driving, especially on a little car like this. Okay, so we'll leave that just to air off and dry, and we'll go and sort the drum out. Right, to the bench. Okay, so we'll get rid of all that dust out of there. There we go. And you can see where this grease has been coming out of the bearing, which is really weird. And you can see it on the back of the drum here, so it's obviously as the wheel's been spinning, it's slowly been migrating into the contact area here where the brake shoes rub, and then getting on that lining. I mean, ideally you should have new shoes in it, don't get me wrong, that's exactly what it should have, but today, as we are right now, that's just not going to happen. So hopefully we can just get it through the WoF and move on and get on with the jobs that I'm scheduled to do today, which is quite a bit. Okay, one more douse. Good old brake cleaner, you can't go wrong, can you? Good stuff. Okay, now I've got to give that drum a sand as well. It's important. Give it a quick deglaze. I'll have to have a look back on the last Warrant of Fitness and see if there was a bit of a discrepancy between the brakes then, you know. I can find the paperwork. I suppose if it doesn't pass, then I'm going to have to put new shoes on. And that'll be a whole new video. Well, hey. So I think when I serviced this and fitted the wheel cylinders, I wasn't actually doing videos then, so it's probably more than a year. It must have been like 3 years ago I did it, so. Wow. Like I say, it hardly gets any use. Doesn't do cars any good to be stud, does it? Okay, I think we're there. That'll do. Stick it back in. Okay, good and dry in there now. Stick it back on. There we go. Cool. Right. Washer. Nuts. Oh, it's windy gone. And torque wrench. Ready. That's tight enough. Okay, now I'm just going to tap the tab back down on that nut. It's looking pretty mank. If you really need to, you can always put another washer in there if you've got one kicking around, and that'll basically mean that the nut will stop in a different position. But we'll be alright. It's not too bad. It's pretty important because if that nut comes loose, you could lose the whole wheel off the car. Jeez, that'd be bad, wouldn't it? Okay, cap. One thing left to do, fit the wheel. Man, I like simple jobs. Hope it's going to work. Should be getting bends at all this kind of stuff now. All the basic jobs. He's such a busy lad. It's taking weeks to get around to doing it. We haven't got weeks. Excellent. Job done. Okay, crew, so there you go. Pretty simple task, just cleaning up the brakes. And obviously we did find the fault. We found some grease that had migrated out of the right-hand wheel bearings and got itself, you know, due to the centrifugal force, it got out onto the actual braking surface of the drum, between the drum and the shoes, impregnated the friction material of the brake shoes, and hence obviously grease is a lubricant, so it's going to reduce the friction. That was the problem. We got a 38% brake imbalance on this vehicle, which is a definite fail for a Warrant of Fitness. Maximum is 20%, and that's, you know, that's the borderline. So I'm going to head back down to our friends at VTNZ, not a sponsor. No one that charges $61 for a Warrant of Fitness. Jeez. And well, I'll see you very shortly, and I'll let you know how I get on. If it fails again and it's still out of balance, you know, even 21% is still a fail, then I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy some new brake shoes. But I can't get them today. Everywhere's closed, and these are genuine Suzuki, so they may have to be ordered. Might take a couple of weeks, which is a bit of a problem because the car is going out tomorrow. Yeah, but let me stress, the proper way to fix this is to replace the brake shoes. Once grease or any kind of contamination, lubricant has got into those brake shoes, into the lining, you cannot get it out. Not 100%. Some people put it in the oven at home, they try and use brake cleaner and stuff, but in reality that friction material is like a sponge, and once the lubricant is in, it ain't gonna come out. Simple as that. Okay crew, I'll see you well, in a few seconds. To you, probably about an hour to me. See you shortly. Bah! Yes, I'm pissed off. I got there at 10 minutes past 1 and they're bloody closed. They used to open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and now they're closed early. They're shut Sundays, and of course Monday is the Queen's birthday. And of course, being English, we have to respect that, and of course they're closed. So I can't get the warrant recheck done until sometime next week. So I've got to try and squeeze that in around work, and that's not going to be easy because I know I've got a busy week coming up. So, I can't give you the verdict. Has it passed? Has it failed? I don't know. I think the conclusion would be that if there's going to be a second part to this video, episode 2 so to speak, where I'm fitting rear brake shoes, then obviously you'll know that it's failed. But fingers crossed, it won't. It'll be okay. That's it. The video is done. Okay crew, well if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button? You'll see a little gear icon turn up, click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications, and our friends down at YouTube will send you an email as and when I upload any new videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals, but first point of contact, if you wouldn't mind, through the comments on YouTube, because that's where I look all the time, and I try to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. Sometimes it gets a bit overwhelming, but hey, keep it up. I do enjoy reading your comments. There's also a Patreon page. Drop onto that if you like. There's a link on the main Andy Mechanic page on the YouTube. Click on that and you'll be able to read all about some of the history of the channel and up and coming projects as well. And if you feel like donating, you can click on there and become a patron. Alright chaps, well that's about it from me. Cheers for now. Over and out. Until girl Sam. How are you?
Back.
You're back! Fantastic.
So
I know, and I've got a new shirt, so I thought it's only right that I give you a new shirt too, so there you go.
So excited for my new shirt, and I don't have to wear different shirts every day. And as a classic Tool Girl Sam move, I am going to wear it like this. Wow, would you look at that? I'd say that is a great present for your girlfriend if she's into tools. If she's not, she's probably into tools because you're a tool. See what I did there? Tool girl shirt, perfect.